So we've just finished up our pre-analysis, adjustment, and post-analysis of this patient, and we're ready to create our SOAP note. So I'll click on the SOAP notes, or the notes button here, and then you'll see at the top, if the Apple Intelligence is enabled, you'll see Generate SOAP Note at the top here, and I'll click on that. The system will send you an AI disclaimer, just basically saying we understand that AI is not perfect still, and we'll need you to review all of the information and make sure it's correct and accurate. But I'll go ahead and click that I understand and to generate the note. And here the system is going to ask you for subjective information. The PulStar doesn't know about the patient at all and why they might have come in for this visit. So I'm going to go ahead and paste a subjective note in here that I've created previously. And here at this point, if you wanted to, you can even use the built-in AI to go ahead and say, I want to maybe change the way this reads a little bit, or maybe proofread it. I can click the rewrite button with everything highlighted. It'll take a look at the data and then create an option for you if you want to rewrite some of the information. So you can kind of take a look at that. If you like what it's changed, then you can go ahead and click done. And all of this is done locally. We're not sending this out to ChatGPT or anything like that. So we know that things are nice and secure, and we're not sharing any of this patient information with anyone outside of our PulStar system directly. So then when I'm ready with my subjective information, I'll go ahead and click generate. And here the system, again, locally using the local AI, is going to generate information using that subjective information and the information from the PulStar visit today. That's both the analysis and things that were adjusted. So here we have the SOAP note. It basically says that it has the patient name and date, who we are based on built into the system again. It takes our subjective information and puts that into the note. And then also has some information about the problems that are objective from the analysis and adjustment itself. So it'll describe different areas from the analysis that were a problem, and then also things that we adjusted. And so it'll show that information. It'll also show our overall decrease and local decrease, and a little note about that information as well. And then it has some information about the assessment based on that previous information. Again, all of this is editable. So if there's something that you want to add from the assessment, or maybe even from the plan that we're talking about, the adjustments that were performed today, maybe we had manually adjusted, let's say the upper cervical occiput to C1, C1. We can put that in there as well. And then it describes how the post scan demonstrated a decrease in stiffness and improved motion. It also talks about home care. Again, if there's a problem with this information here, we can go ahead and just delete some of that if we want to and edit that. And then our plan for our next visit, we can, of course, add to that, and some treatment goals are built into the system as well. So you can also edit these. Once you save that information, it is saved with the session itself. You can always go back and edit that information as long as you're editing on today's visit. Once it's not today's visit, this information is not editable. So make sure that everything is the way you want it today. And that's all saved. And then we can end the session. If I bring up our test patient again and review their sessions, we can see the pre and post adjustment or analysis, And in the summary, we can also see that note that we created as well as what we adjusted. And again, if today is the same day as today as this visit, I can also edit that note directly right here as well. We can also print this information out. So if I click print and I say include the note, we can go ahead and click print. You'll see the print dialog come up, and you'll see that we've got the pre and post visit, everything that was adjusted, and then the note as well. So that'll all print out, so we can store that, or we could, of course, save that as a PDF. So we can say open in preview or save as a PDF, and that'll save the note in case we want to attach it to an EHR system or something like that. So that's the newest feature that we've introduced with the PulStar. There, of course, are other features that we're always introducing, but this is one of the newest ones that I think is important and everyone should have a little bit of information on. Thanks so much.